So we're in Northwood at the garden, giving a garden some soul project. The outline was there were these large terraces here, this upper terrace, lower terrace, and the lawn area, and they were already defined. However, it was very stark, lots of hard landscaping, and not much character, and not any soul. So wanted to bring in some planting into the project to soften the edges and give some movement and life to the garden, which was very white. It's probably the best way to put it. There were a couple of methods I've used to bring the planting in. I mean, we could have cut large areas out of this upper terrace, but to be honest, we really don't know what's going on underneath. So we've used these large planters. These are 1 metre wide, 450 millimetres high, to put these beautiful plants in. Okay. So these steps were put in. Then we made them a lot wider, a lot safer, with the treads going down, much more inviting down to the lower terrace. The previous steps were quite narrow and they weren't full across. They kind of staggered. We also added a large planter over here, which brought the planting up from the hot tub area. So this has really helped make it more inviting to the lower terrace, where you have the lawn, the pergola area, and this beautiful water feature. So we got this beautiful Aquascape cascading bowls. This is the large version, 1 metre across. You see the light playing on this water feature as the upper bowl cascades into the lower bowl, which also cascades over and goes down into our sump. We surrounded it with some large boulders, some large cobbles, pebbles, and some beautiful planting. For example, the Acer sitting in the background there, beautiful Crocosmia, Scabiosis, and a bunch of ferns in the back. This is quite a shady spot, with the exception first thing in the morning when the sun sort of drifts through this area. It creates a nice environment, beautiful sound, and also visual points from the seating area on the upper terrace, but also from the pergola. Whilst this is running currently, if I turn it off, you can see the water remains in the bowls, which is also good for the wildlife. So we've had a few birds coming in to basically have a little bathe or a sip of water. Now, the water has been treated, but actually it's been treated with something which is children and animal and bird safe. So it's good for the environment. We got to think bees and stuff really are struggling to get water, especially this summer, 2026. It's been so dry. They are desperate for sources of water. So even when it's not running, these bowls will contain water for the wildlife. So we've got this beautiful Acer here, sitting, floating away. It's got a lovely reddish colour on top and green underneath. The leaves are almost translucent when the sun hits it, but it's also enjoying the dappled shade we get in this area during the day. It's been underplanted with this real zingy green Carex grass, which I'm just loving as it cascades over this pot. This is a nice large pot suitable for the Acer, and hopefully it'll be very happy here. And then we got this Corten steel screen, over 6 foot high, nice focal point at the end of the patio. Focal point at the end of the pergola also gives a bit of privacy to this area. We cut out these beautiful tulip shapes with these leaves, but we didn't want to stop there. We wanted to create some bit of sculpture of these cutouts that we then stood up in concrete and supported with some rebar beneath. And then we've broken it up with these beautiful Acers. This is a red cedar frame going around, and it will create this beautiful focal point. And then in the evening we got this lighting down here, so that'll create more shadow and interest. A downlight will cast light down across the screen itself. It's going to be really interesting to see it at night, and also how it develops with the rusting over the next few months. So this water feature can be seen from the pergola area, and you can hear it bubbling away here. Gives that beautiful sound. But also, the water feature can be seen from the hot tub and the main sofa area. I've got a direct line of sight to the water feature bubbling away. It's not too noisy out there, it's not blocked by the large planter here, it just got a straight view down to the water feature bubbling away in the corner there. So we've got these tall planters each side of this sofa area. This was to create a sort of separate space, make it a little bit more cozy for people using the sofa area, and separate it off from cooking area and also the jacuzzi area. We've gone with the artificial buxus because there's a big glass ceiling above, and I didn't really feel that any topiary ball would actually last any length of time in this environment. It does get quite warm under here when the sun's on it. So we went with the artificial option in these beautiful tall planters in a sandstone colour, topped off with pebbles, and it gives a really nice feel. You feel a bit cozier than this big open space that was previously there. And the sandstone colour has gone perfectly well with the colour of these sofa cushions and unit. Picture window here. Actually, what I originally wanted to do was get some planting down, so as someone was coming through that hallway and through their front door, you'd see this nice bit of planting outside this picture window. However, there is a drain down here, and also this is really the only practical spot for the sofa, which then led me to decide, okay, well, the solution is to have a large planter. So I went with these large bowls, 1 metre wide, 450mm high, which I've put a variety of perennials in here. So we've got Rebecca, Guillaume, a nice heuchera, some grass, crocosmia, and Lorope back there. So it's creating a nice sort of flower display, nice and visual from the sofa area, but also from the house. As you come through the main door and look out that picture window, you get a view of this, but also down to the Acer with the Carex grass underneath, and potentially the Corten steel screen further on as you move through that hallway. So really invites you out into the garden, and I think that's one of the key points to garden design, is making people want to come out and actually use the garden, interact with it, enjoy it, relax in it. It's very healthy for people to spend time outside and just reflect on life. So we fitted this yellow Balau, I think is how you pronounce it, little worktop for entertaining outside, constructed with red cedar posts, and also a little spot for the Ninja wood fire stove, which the client already had. We put this on a metal plate under here, to keep the wood safe and not create a fire hazard. It is electric, so there will be heat generated. We oiled this with a beautiful oil, and it's come out really well. Really pleased with it. So the client had this hanging chair here, which we've left up on this upper terrace. We've got another bowl planter here, creating another bit of focal point, beautiful anemone in here, and some ferns and stuff. And we've got another bowl here at the focal point from the dining area and the kitchen area. You can look out and you view this bowl, and we've got a nice light here. You can also see yet again another Acer floating around in the bottom here. I do love them. And a little arch screen which is hiding the heat exchangers, which are quite a focal point. Well, we're quite a focal point in the garden. Have been hidden behind this larch, but with sufficient gaps wide enough basically to allow nice easy airflow and not interrupt their operation or put them under any stresses. So whilst we've done all this work to add some soul to this garden, I suppose people are wondering about the lawn. It is looking very rough. Some areas are completely bare. Some of the areas are full of thistles, and other areas over here, yet again, very bare. Now, part of me felt it was to do with the fir trees, which can have an effect, but actually what we found whilst doing a lot of the planting for the hedge and this stuff behind us, there was so much builder's rubble underneath this lawn that what we're going to do after the summer and all this dry weather, so the lawn's got a better chance of taking, is basically take up this old lawn, dig down, remove the rubble, add some new topsoil, maybe some nutrients for the soil, and basically put a new lawn down. But we are waiting for a better time of year. It's been so dry. We've got hose pipe bans on currently, so we will do that in the future to improve it. It'd be really nice finishing touch to this garden to actually have a nice lawn which grows well and is supported by the client.